What's up? What's happening? Welcome into a K-State Instant Reaction video live from T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, where the Kansas State Wildcats have just finished up a 69-60 victory over the Wichita State Shockers in the 12th Wildcat Classic. I am Dan Lucero from 580 Sports Talk. Going to hang out with you for the next few minutes, recap what we just saw tonight. Welcome those of you watching on the 580 WIBW Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk, and on the 580 Sports Talk Twitter handle as well. K-State gets back on the beam after their disappointing Sunday afternoon home loss to Nebraska. A partisan purple crowd comprising the 18,660 that came out to the Wildcat Classic tonight. It's the first one of these that I've been to, and I've been to, I think, 3 of the last 4 or 5, where the upper level of T-Mobile Center was not tarped off. They sold every seat or made every seat available for sale, and a lot of them were full tonight. It was a really great turnout for K-State fans. Some good Wichita State turnout as well, but a lot more purple than any other color in evidence in the building tonight as the Kansas State Wildcats enjoyed that advantage. It was an electric crowd to start, but kind of an uneven, choppy basketball game. Not the most entertaining of games, I have to confess. I've seen more entertaining games of basketball. And part of that was you never really felt like Wichita State was going to win the game. Kansas State was in control. They got what they wanted for the most part. They made the adjustments on defense and really took care of the business that they needed to take care of tonight. It was a 4-point game at half. Wichita State never led in the second half. K-State got the lead out to as many as 12, I believe, and just kind of kept the Shockers at arm's length, kept them from really putting a run together in the second half in the win. A couple of guys worth mentioning for K-State tonight. They had 4 scorers in double figures as their starters took care of the bulk of the scoring. 17 points for Tyler Perry tonight, 15 for Cam Carter, 13 for David Gasson, 11 for Arthur Kaluma. I want to start with Gasson because I thought this was his best game of the year. I'm high on David Gasson still. I know he has some weaknesses to his game. His hands aren't great. His free throw shooting is a struggle, though he did go 3 for 5 tonight. If he makes 2 free throws on the same trip to the free throw line, that should be worth free breadsticks for the K-State students, just like when the opposing team misses 2 on a trip to the line. But I thought Gasson was really good tonight on both ends. I thought he had a defensive presence. I thought offensively he was catching well, scoring well, finishing at the free throw line, which was nice to see. 13 points was a season high. Had 9 boards, just missed his third double-double. Gasson playing well is a ceiling raiser for this Kansas State team. They can be better if he is good each and every night. And tonight he was good, and Kansas State played well. Tyler Perry, 17 points, 5 assists, 3 of 11 from behind the arc. And I'm beginning to wonder if maybe Jerome Tang didn't do him a favor or did him the opposite of a favor when he said before the season that he thought Perry might be the best shooter in the country, because Perry's taken a lot of off-platform 3-point shots, the kinds of shots that don't have a really high percentage of going in. I think he's forcing the 3 ball a little bit, and he's also been unwilling to shoot when he gets into the paint. There was a lot of that. He wasn't the only one tonight that was maybe unwilling to shoot inside, but I felt like he's a little unwilling, a little too unwilling to go up in the paint, try a floater, see if he can get to the free throw line. And instead, a lot of his offense, he settles for shooting from behind the arc. He was 6 of 6 at the stripe tonight, so a game high 17 points, despite only being 4 of 13 from the field. Cam Carter did Cam Carter things. Wasn't a great game for him from the field, but he was 8 of 9 at the line. He really got to the line at will, had 15 points. Arthur Kaluma with 11 points. Wichita State really did a good job keeping him out of the paint, keeping him from being able to score around the basket, really focused on taking him away. I thought did a pretty good job. Will McNair, 7.7 rebounds. The only bench points tonight for K-State belonged to Macaleab Rich. And I really like the energy and the bounce that Rich plays with. He plays with a lot of confidence. All the freshmen for K-State, when they get in, play with confidence. But I really like Macaleab Rich's confidence. That's rare to see sometimes in a freshman big man whose minutes are kind of in and out. But I thought Rich tonight played with good energy. He helps K-State on the glass, where you saw against Nebraska they were terrible. Tonight they actually won the rebounding battle. They were +4 on the glass, 37-33. And he's not afraid to go up and challenge a defender with a shot from inside. He's not afraid to try to score. And sometimes K-State's bigs, Gasson, McNair, they get a little tentative inside the paint. They want to pass it out. They want to head fake and drop step. And Macaleab Rich just take it right into your chest and try and score. And I really like that trait of his. I think that his minutes, now last couple of games we've seen him play more. I think it's been good energy, a good boost off the bench for K-State to be able to rely on another big man in the rotation with McNair and Gasson. And that's fewer minutes in the post for Kaluma, which I think helps K-State. The more he can play the three, the better off I think K-State is going to be. Dorian Finister got to play tonight. He only played 9 minutes. He didn't score, had 2 rebounds, 1 assist. So I think like his offensive impact was anything to write home about. But what I did like from Finister was his defense. And I think that it's an interesting decision for Kansas State to play Finister in the backcourt because he's a bigger guard than what K-State has. I talked about this the last time I did one of these reaction videos after the Villanova game. K-State's backcourt's just not real big. Like Day-Day's not big. Tyler Perry, sub 6 foot. Cam Carter is the biggest guard. He's only 6'3". And early in this game, we saw Wichita State be able to kind of attack the rim at will and score with their guards. Xavier Bell and Harlem Beverly were getting to the rim off the bounce, getting into the chest of a defender and scoring, or scoring over the top of a smaller defender. What Finister does, and he played only 10 minutes tonight, but that was 10 minutes of good perimeter defense. And that was an adjustment that kept Wichita State from doing the things that they were doing well early in the game, which was getting downhill with their guards and scoring around the rim. So the Finister minutes, I think, are fascinating and kind of shows that Jerome Tang is making an adjustment to try and get some bigger guards on the floor and see if that helps his backcourt defense, because you can't coach height, and Finister has what Tyler Perry doesn't, what Day-Day Ames doesn't, and that's a little size at a guard spot and the ability to handle the ball. He came up as a point guard. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of that against teams who have really good combo guards, driving guards who can score off the bounce like Wichita State did tonight. I wonder if we'll see more Dorian Finister minutes for defensive purposes moving forward. That was an interesting wrinkle for K-State tonight. As for the opponents, Wichita State, they're obviously a Kansas team, and I wanted to spare a thought or two for them tonight. Like I said, I never felt like they were going to win, and that sounds meaner than I mean it to mean, if that makes any sense. I never felt like they were going to make a run. It just never felt like they had that run in them where they were going to counterpunch. And K-State couldn't put them away, and that's a credit to Wichita State. They were stubborn. Every time it felt like K-State might be starting to build that run and be the boulder rolling downhill, Wichita State would score back-to-back baskets and just kind of stay in touch. I mentioned their guards, Bell and Beverly. I really like both of them. Good, aggressive players. Xavier Bell got in foul trouble early, picked up his third foul 14 seconds into the second half, and I think that hurt Wichita State's chance to really get off strong to start the second half. And I thought Beverly was really good in the first half, kind of petered out in the second half. Quincy Ballard, their center, I thought played a good game, 13 points. He was a real presence around the rim, finishing lobs, 13 points, 7 rebounds for him. One of Wichita State's issues this year is they haven't been very good at point guard. They just did get Bijan Cortez back. He's a 2-time transfer, last seen at Oklahoma. If you watch any Big 12 basketball, you saw the long-haired number 55 for Oklahoma. That's Cortez. And he's newly eligible now for Wichita State because of the recent Supreme Court ruling, I think in Ohio, that has made 2-time transfers immediately eligible without any recompense if later on that ruling by the Ohio Supreme Court is overturned. So Cortez is eligible, and he made his Wichita State debut tonight. And on the one hand, that's a true point guard, and it allows Bell and Beverly and others to play off the ball, and theoretically that will unlock the best versions of them. The problem is, I don't think Bijan Cortez is very good. I'm sorry to say that. I don't think he's a bad person. He may well be a wonderful young man. I don't know him. I don't think he's a very good basketball player. I think he made a couple of really ill-fated drives. He was losing guys off of screens. Tyler Perry hit 3 threes, and 2 of them were on plays where Bijan Cortez got screened into oblivion and just lost his man. I don't think he's the solution at point for Wichita State. I don't want to harp on it too much, but I don't think he's going to be what fixes things at that particular position for Paul Mills and Wichita State. But I do think they have a good American Athletic Conference team, and I think they're going to be tough in that league. They played really defensively. They played a full 40 tonight. Paul Mills demands that as, like Jerome Tang, a former Baylor assistant. You're going to get a 40-minute effort from Wichita State every night. Thought we got that tonight. But again, I don't think K-State was perfect. Don't think it was an A-plus game for them, but they were better, much better than Wichita State was, and they proved it over the course of tonight's 9-point win. 69-60 the final score. K-State is now 9-3, Wichita State 8-4. One more non-con game for the Wildcats. They host Chicago State after the holiday. That's to begin the new year, their final non-conference game at Bramlage Coliseum. That's going to do it for this instant reaction. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you tuning in. If you catch it on delay, thanks for giving us a click. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk, so you never miss one of these videos, either live or archived. We invite you to check that out. No 580 Sports Talk tomorrow, so no full reaction on air on 580 WIBW. Myself and Brendan Brzezinski are taking a few days off for the holidays. We'll be back with our next show on Wednesday, December 27th from 2 to 6. We hope you'll join us then. Until then, this is good night from the T-Mobile Center. The T-Mobile Center. It's not a hyphen. It's not an apostrophe. Good night from the T-Mobile Center here in Kansas City. I'm Dan Lucero. Merry Christmas, everybody.